India is facing an international diplomatic storm. The government has shot itself on their own feet. What has happened? Two BJP government members have said some blasphemous remarks about the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, and his wife, Hazrat Aisha Siddiqa radhiyallahu anha. One gave the remarks on an international debate that was happening on live television, and the other one put those remarks as a tweet which is now deleted. So after the remarks, there was a backlash from the Muslim world and the Muslim population around the world, which approximately accounts for 2 billion people. So the Indians have successfully heard the sentiments of 2 billion people around the world. So the two BJP government members that said these remarks were Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal. So these remarks obviously prompted clashes within India as well, because India also has a huge population of Muslims in the country, and we have seen it time and again that Indians have this rising Hindutva policy that is now amalgamated in their government, that in their governance. So the so-called secular state is no longer a secular state. The pride that the Indians used to take, calling themselves that the state does not have a religion, is no longer true, because the BJP government under the leadership of Narendra Modi has a Hindutva ideology, and they are bringing in laws to target Muslims, against the Muslims, where first we saw the Babri Masjid incident, now there is Gyanvapi Masjid incidents, and many other mosques are being taken over by Hindu people, converting them into temples. Similarly, we saw an azan ban in India and burqa ban in many states. So let's talk about how many countries, how many Muslim countries have shown their anger and their condemnation of the blasphemous remarks by the BJP government. India's ambassadors to Kuwait and Qatar were summoned to receive official notes of protest over the comments, and Pakistan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a statement condemning the highly derogatory remarks and the BJP's response. These totally unacceptable remarks have not only deeply hurt the sentiments of the people of Pakistan, but of billions of Muslims around the world, the Foreign Ministry said in a statement. BJP's attempted clarification and belated and perfunctory disciplinary action against these individuals cannot assuage the pain and anguish they have caused to the Muslim world, the ministry said. Moreover, Qatar's Ministry of Foreign Affairs summoned the Indian ambassador to present an official note expressing the disappointment of the state of Qatar and its total rejection and condemnation to the controversial remarks. Qatar is expecting a public apology and condemnation of the remarks by the government of India. Kuwait also summoned the Indian ambassador and said it had handed the ambassador a protest note in which Kuwait rejected and denounced the statements made by the BJP officials. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the second largest intergovernmental organization in the world after the United Nations, with a collective population reaching over 1.8 billion, also added its voice to the condemnation. Saudi Arabia condemned the remarks, describing the spokesperson's comments as insulting and calling for respect for beliefs and religions. We can see that the Muslims around the world are angered by the careless and insulting statements made by the BJP government. But the question here arises that this was something that could be expected from the Indian government, by the BJP government, because the leader Narendra Modi is an extremist Hindu leader. He is a terrorist who was responsible for many killings of Muslims in Gujarat. He was also banned from entering USA before he became the Prime Minister of India. So we can see that the Hindu sentiment is so strong in the Indian soil that they elected a terrorist, a proven terrorist, an extremist, a Hindu extremist as their Prime Minister. And that Prime Minister is promoting Islamophobia in the country, where people are fighting with each other, where Muslims and Hindus who used to live together in the country, who used to have a very brotherly relationship with each other, are now clashing with each other. But this time the Indians have made a huge mistake, because they have angered the Muslims all across the world and not just in India. So they are facing a huge backlash, and what is going to happen now? The controversy has raised the ire of social media users in Arab countries who have called for a boycott of Indian products, denounced the escalation of hatred against Islam and Muslims, and accused India of following in the footsteps of France and China in promoting Islamophobia. Outrage over the remarks has spread in the Arab world, with a trending Twitter hashtag calling for a boycott of Indian products in some countries. A Qatari minister said systematic hate speech against Islam in India will be considered insult by 2 billion Muslims. So now India does not only faces a diplomatic backlash but also economic, because Arab countries are a huge market for Indian products, and now we can see that obviously the sentiments of Muslims have been hurt and they are going to boycott the Indian products, which will cost Indian billions of dollars, and that will be very detrimental for the Indian government. The BJP government has issued a statement saying that they respect all religions, but they failed to apologize for the incident that took place, for the derogatory remarks that were made by their party members. India is becoming a Hindu republic day by day, but they need to realize that millions of Muslims live in the country, and not only Muslims but Christians and many other religions who live side by side with Hindus in the country. So they need to understand and respect all religions.